Another weekend, another week, and another welcome from Allotment in the field. So I've been harvesting lettuce for me and friends. Friend of mine just came by and got a bag, and that's our lettuce for today. And I just brought the aubergines with me. And I just want you to have a look at these bad guys all together. So I'm sorry about the twist. So here they are, these bad guys. I will prepare, these are 14-liter pots for them, and I will pot them on, and then we can have a look, compare them with the heirloom variety which is already planted in the polytunnel. And just to remind ourselves, this one is Bonica F1 and the one inside is Viserba 3. Well, I've got 14 little buckets, and they're actually water buckets or kind of utility buckets, builder's buckets. And I'm just going to make a hole in there, push some soil into the... Some people just put the pot in and make a space that way, and I'm gonna put, you see it is already a bit root bound. I'm just gonna put it in. I'm using multi-purpose compost with John Innes, but I would have used any, it's just that's what the nursery, that's what garden centre actually had. I might top it up with another multi-purpose compost which I have left over, so it just covers it all a little bit better. And that's the first one done. 3 more to go. I just want to add that these have been actually grown from the seeds, and I'm so proud. I know, and I hope we have some fruit, because yes, I could have got them, and you know, I could have got them from the garden centre, order them online, and with some stuff I'm happy to do that, but I wanted so much to experiment with this. I think in future, once I do my own experiments and I know what I like, I think I will actually, because it's probably, with the effort you have to put into stuff like that, probably is easier sometimes, and even it may be cheaper to buy them. But I first need to know what actually I like, so that's why I'm doing this, and also to prove to myself that I can. Once I've done that, I don't know how we're gonna do this next year. I know that I'm getting, I got for my birthday, obviously the present yet to materialize, I got greenhouse. I normally pot everything at home, but these would be so bulky to transport that I've decided to, on this occasion, to do that here. Once I have actually potting bench here, that will be slightly different story. Here they are, potted on and ready to go to the greenhouse. The aubergines are now safely in the polytunnel. I can spot a ladybird walking up there. Carry on, do the good job. And just to show you the difference, so they're more or less on the same level. So this one is the ones I planted, and the one behind that pot is the Viserba 3, which is much smaller, but is sprouted another leg from the bottom, and so did this one. And I just will do a little experiment and let 2, 3, they might catch up, you never know, or we might have different aubergines at different time. Well, let's hope we have some. So the only thing left now is for me to water them and have my fingers crossed and pop in occasionally with a brush and make sure they are having the being pollinated. They're quite difficult to pollinate, so that's why they need a little help. Besides planting aubergines, I also sow some artichokes, and obviously these are, let me just show you, still quite small, but I think they are now ready to be potted on. I might keep them actually in the pots in the polytunnel throughout the summer till the space available for my artichokes becomes available. So let them grow bigger and better, and perhaps maybe even keep them in a polytunnel till next year when I can plant fairly mature plants. These have been purchased from Chiltern Seeds, and they're called Artichoke Violetta di Chioggia, Chioggia. So I've got 4 of them. They're fairly root bound by now, so I think it was high time for me to do that. I am a little bit rough with them. I'm usually a little bit rough with all my plants. I don't drop them gently and do this and that. And they still seem to don't mind very much. I don't think, as long as they have enough nutrition and light and water. And as I said, I haven't got any space for them, so even if I did find I couldn't really. I've got one of the potato beds once we harvest the potatoes, which this is the space I probably will want to have them, but these are main crop potatoes and not going to be harvested till much later in the summer. So off they go to the polytunnel again. I don't want to be presumptuous, but I think this is big thing in the life of every onion, is to be harvested. And I've spied few big onions here, which I don't want to go to seed, because some of my onions have gone to seed, and I'm trying to harvest them. And let's see. So that's very, very first onion I've ever harvested in my entire life, in fact. So I'm gonna go and harvest a few more, so that might also give some space for the others to mature. Not all of them, I think, are red, funnily enough. I think that one is white. So I'll go around this bed, and I've seen at least 1 or 2 more, but we probably don't need more at the moment than 2 or 3, 4. Sowing jobs for this week are carrots, which I still haven't done, and parsnip white gem, carrot charisma, and carrot early Nantes number 2. I've never been successful with carrots. I had some very small success in parsnips, and so I've got 3 buckets. The parsnip bucket is biggest, and 2 for carrots. One is obscure there, and I'm gonna sow them and just place them strategically around the plot, and let's see what's gonna happen. We'll get an update in a few weeks' time. So I sown the parsnip quite dense, because obviously it's quite difficult and long to germinate. I think if I sow it now, I don't usually, I just kind of dust it a little bit and put a little bit on top, but not very much soil, and I might have some parsnips for Christmas. Nigel is harvesting some broad bean, so hopefully today's dinner is gonna have that addition. They haven't been expertly planted, so it's quite difficult to get to them, but this is another lesson learned. First broad bean harvest, and it's Nigel smiling. Wish it was a gin. It's just mineral water. Happy? Thank you for watching this week's installment, and I hope to see you next week when we're going to do another allotment tour, because the allotment is changing so much. Thank you and goodbye.